Why, in hindsight, do you think that going to Arkansas wasn't the best option for you?
Oh, boy, any number of reasons, right?
Uh-huh.
I have to say, and I say this honestly, there was, not getting to the league and not being in the NFL right now was one of the better things I think that happened. I don't want to get into, all the reasons why, but as for Arkansas, I mean, it was in some ways, I think it was a really good thing to have happen to me. Maybe not in the immediate aftermath or in the immediate years, but now, being, what are we, 12 years removed from it almost. It's provided some good lessons that I've been able to look back on and to grow from. But in a real sense, I mean, it just wasn't, in terms of what my goals were for football, as perhaps weak or nearsighted as they were, it just wasn't a good base. Like I said, there were some promises, there were a lot of promises that shouldn't have been made, that couldn't have been kept. And from that point of view, I mean, Gus was great, Alex Wood was great, but the rest of it was just the same stuff. And really, we ended up in a huge conflict on many different levels in terms of, what we're going to run as an offense, who was going to have control of it. And then just, that's not even counting the conflicts outside of that, outside of the game. So we could probably spend a whole hour talking about this stuff.
In order to be a successful coach under Petrino, what kind of mindset did you have to have?
You have to be, like I said, a footballaholic. You just want to grind it out, and you're willing to sit in there and study film all day, all evening, and all night till you find, what it is going to give us an edge in that game. Those guys that like to come in late and get off early and go home, those guys normally don't fit with us because, we're going to sit in there and figure out what is the best way to win.
When was the time that you decided that you wanted to transfer?
So, I mean, that was the point that marked, I think, kind of the wake up for me. Things were going bad, but that was the point where it's like, okay, this is real. Like, this is, there's clearly, it's no more just speculation. It's not my feeling. It's not, this tenseness that's kind of pervading the locker room and the environment, the Broyles complex. I mean, that was real. Like, they took action and we're like, yeah, we're done. And we're not going to, there was no sign or remediate anything. And then you look at I bring this example up a lot. Matt Stafford at Georgia was kind of running a parallel path here. And they did everything totally different, right? They pulled him out of the game. They put in, I believe it was a walk-on senior they had at the time. They pulled Matt out. They made the corrections through the week, and they gave him another shot, right? And he would improve those areas, and he would fail in others, and they would pull him out again, to preserve the game. And they did a pretty good job of it. And they would make those corrections, and they'd put him back in the next week, and just over and over, and he got significantly better. The difference was there was none of that. I mean, I was basically pulled. That was the end of it. I picked up some spare time throughout the season. When I really decided to leave was, I think in the weeks after that, just seeing that again, I was expecting kind of that the treatment of, hey, let's remediate this, let's figure out what the problems are, and let's make these corrections and then try again. And as week one went by after South Carolina, week two, week three, it became pretty evident that wasn't going to happen. And then Damian left after the SEC game. And by that point, it was pretty much done. I knew I wasn't going to leave after the SEC game. I think there was still some hope that, something would change. I was following Gus in a lot of ways, his lead on that. And I thought, if he's staying, maybe there's something that's redeemable or something of value that's being said here. So, but after the bowl game, that was it. I walked out of the locker room, left my stuff there, and knew I wasn't coming back for it.
You also got to play under head coach Brett Bielema, who's no longer with the Arkansas Razorbacks. Taiwan, what do you really think went wrong with Bielema at Arkansas?
I think that when he came in, there was just so much chaos surrounding the program as far as uncertainty, players who were so used to an old culture. And most of his first years, from my eyes, was cleaning up the culture. And I think when things really started, cleaning up and changing, we started to see progress. We started to see, things moving in the right direction. But we lost a lot of seniors after I left. I feel like last year's team, they jumped into a whole new defense, and I don't know. I just think things just didn't work out, and I wish him all the best in his future.